Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lincoln Mitchell this morning. How you doing? How you doing? I am probably one of the very few traders that you have ever seen do a live futures account, real money, live stock account, live money, real money, live for Nadex account, binary, real money, live forex account, real money, and a live options account, real money. I'm probably the trader that you never heard of that only has 485 followers, but most of these followers are actually big signal providers. Believe it or not, I'm that guy. The question is, who is Lincoln Mitchell? Uh, I am basically 49 years old. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, my dad was in the Army for 30 years. I traveled all my life. So if somebody said they think they knew me, they probably telling you the truth. Or if they have met me, they probably telling you the truth. I've been a lot of places. Um, I joined the Navy. I served my time in the Navy for 4 years. Law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement for 5 years of my life. I've been in sales majority of my life. I owned a trucking business, owned a gold business, owned an internet business. I have also, my wife owns a real estate business. And basically, that's it. I'm just one of two siblings. That's it. I'm the youngest. Let's go to the next question. Why did I want to trade? Me, I was looking for freedom more than the money. I love freedom. I just don't like for they have to be somewhere at a certain time, and I always have to be at that certain time. I hate that same routine every single day. I just cannot stand it, people. I cannot stand it. I also wanted to trade, secondly, because of the money. I love the freedom. I love to have money in my pocket. Look, right now I probably got $600 worth of cash in my pocket. I don't normally carry that much on me. I do carry about 100 on me, but I just happen to have 600. But I think it's trading. One of second. I mean, that was the third thing. Money was the third thing. The second main thing I think is I love the challenge. I love challenging myself. I love pushing myself. I know going to trading, you have the smartest minds, the most brilliant minds in the whole world that comes to this arena. And to me, I wanted to play the game. I mean, that's just me. I love to try to figure out how to beat the next man on the other end of the charts or other end of my trades. I love that. I think that's the like I said, but the main thing was freedom. Then it was definitely the challenge. I love challenging myself. I love pushing myself because trading doesn't always play out the way you think it is. But now I'm at that level where nothing surprises me anymore. I can see if the trade's going this way. I can see if the trade's going that way. I can understand exactly what's going on. So there's really no very few, it's very rarely that I can see something that say, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." Most of the time, I can say, "Okay, I see how that can play out," or I can see how this can play out. Right? How did I learn to trade? Oh, that was a good one. I learned how to trade to navigate through softwares and enter orders through YouTube. And I would look at tons and tons and thousands of YouTube videos. I mean, if you name it, damn, I probably looked at it. I used to look at hundreds and hundreds of hours. I have so many hours into looking at YouTube channels and to learn how to trade, but to learn my strategy, to learn how I do my strategy, that was 100% self-taught. I learned that all on my own, after losing money and trying to figure out how to do it. But I don't think there's really too many people with 4 years in the get 4 years in this game that has as much, screen time as I have. I even today is Sunday, and I've been studying charts ever since 4:07. I mean 4:12 this morning. So I stay on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly on it, constantly trying to reinvent it, constantly perfecting my strategy. I don't think it could get any better, but I'm always looking for that easier, which don't exist. I'm always looking for that easier way to trade. But mainly, I learned how to trade basically through YouTube, watching a whole bunch of YouTube channels. Any people I could recommend on how to trade, basically me. But my channel is a little bit more advanced. So there was a guy that I looked at called Cam24 Trader. When I was trading options, there was another guy that I looked at called what's that guy name? Decisive Trader. That's when I was really trying to learn how to read candlesticks. And definitely I used to look at a lot of clay videos, too, clay trader videos when I first, was really trying to get in here and learn. How much was my first successful trade? That's a great question. It was 300 and some dollars. I think 300 and I'm gonna say $40. And like an ass, I went in that same day. I went in and put a leave of absence for my job. Don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And in less than 2 weeks, I was right back at that damn job. I didn't lose all the money. I took one big loss and I walked away from it. That was like in 2006. I tried that and I walked away from it then. I was like, man, there's a little bit more work to it, especially when you got, a $500 car note. I had a nice Mercedes at the time, you know. Does anyone else knows my strategy? No. Well, my wife, if you count her. My wife is the only person that knows a good 95% of how my strategy works. My strategy is 100% authentic. Nobody knows it. Nobody can guess it. Nobody can figure it out because my strategy is outside of the box, people. People have seen me trade. I have been invited to so many cameo appearances, and I did very, very well in a lot of people groups. And they're like, holy crap, how'd you see that? How'd you see this? How'd you see that? How'd you know that's going to happen? My strategy, like I said, is authentic. There's nobody out here that I have not seen one person yet that can trade the way I trade. But on the flip side of that, I'm gonna tell you what I did learn through my journeys. I met a millionaire lady, and me and her talked for a good while. We would, go back and forth, and she was from Russia, and we would go back and learn trading styles. Well, the funny thing about it, she traded different than I did, and I traded different than she did. Both of us used naked charts, but we both kept coming up with the same price. Now, she was like the fourth person. She was like the icing on the cake because there was a guy I had met when I first started developing my strategy that me and him, we were trading, and I met this guy through StockTwit, and me and him would come up with the same price. And I couldn't understand that. Like, he would have the same price, I would have the same price. And even though he did things differently and I did things differently, we kept coming up with the same price. Then there was another guy that happened to, and like I said, the Russian lady, like the fourth person. And then there was somebody else that happened to where we were all trading differently, but we all came up with the same price. And that's when I really realized that trading was based on price. You see, that's it. It was odd that all of us, we had different trading styles, but we all had damn near identical price targets. So I might say the price is going to be 26,012. I'm just using Dow. 26,012. They might say it's going to be 26,016. Somebody else might say 26,010. But all of us are in that same cluster of that range, and I couldn't understand that. And then as I got older, I realized maybe somebody might be running a bid or ax on their charts, bid ax or a mark. Yeah. And that might be the only difference off of that 3 or 4 pip spread, but all in all, we were all running the same price. And the rewind on this strategy part, when I first started to develop my strategy, believe it or not, I tried to teach a lot of people, but it was so complex at the beginning, nobody could understand it. And it's still very complex for me to teach it. Once you learn it, it's simple as hell. It's almost like driving a car with a clutch with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Once you learn it, it's fun and you know how to do it. But nobody knows my strategy. Will I ever teach it? I doubt it. My strategy just keeps increasing money. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't sell it. I wanted to sell it, but my strategy kept going up in price. I started with $500. I went up to $1,200. I went up to $1,500. I think the last price I ever put out there was $2,600. And the reason why my strategy keeps going up because my strategy works. It works. You know what I'm saying? I have entered trading competitions. I did very well in a lot of those things. You know what I'm saying? So my strategy works, people. And that's another reason why I erase a lot of videos. My strategy works so well. A lot of people that follow me knows I used to do this thing called going to Chicago. And going into Chicago, I would tell you where that trade is going that day. I would tell you where that trade is going that day if it sets up. If it sets up, I would tell you where that trade is going. Then I would turn around and record that same trade 3-4 hours later, the same exact trade I told you that's going to set up. I have not seen nobody in this industry yet do that. Yet. And I watch an ass load of YouTube videos. I have never seen anybody do that. I think I stand on a plateau of my own when it comes to that. I'm the only one that I have ever seen do that. You know, let's get to the next question. Do I trade patterns? No. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Let me rewind. I said that too fast. I look for failed patterns. My trading strategy is probably only maybe about 10% of trading patterns. I do have patterns on my charts that I might chop and make notes of when a pattern doesn't look right, or like if it has a gap or something like that. That would be the only time I pay attention to a pattern. Other than that, I don't. I pay only attention to that price, how that price moves, whether it goes up, whether it goes down, whether it goes backwards, whatever that price is doing. That's all I do. And do I trade algos? Yes, definitely. Um, I do it manually. I do it by my own eyes. I don't have computer software, and it'd be great if somebody approached me with it, because we can make a killing. We can make a killing if somebody can take my mind and put it in an algo system or EA and really do it. But it's gonna have to be somebody I really, really trust. And even though I'm going to get a percentage out the deal, they're gonna have to pay me huge. They're gonna have to pay me huge, because my strategy works across the board. It works, like I said, you've seen all the things I've traded. My strategy works across the board. It doesn't matter what you're trading. My strategy works. But all in essence, do I trade patterns? Very, very a minimum amount. Last question, people. What's next for me in trading? $1 million. Once I break my $1 million, I think that I would teach 12 people. At one time, I said it's going to be 16. I dropped it down. I would love for my strategy to continue on. You know, like I said, I'm 50, almost 50 years old, and nobody really knows my strategy. Nobody. So, you know, and I got a couple of people in mind that I would love to teach and really take up under my wing, but they got to be willing, 100% willing to go that distance. So as time goes on, maybe more people will reveal themselves, but I'm looking for people that's super, 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 super hungry. I mean, you got to be willing to, the problem with people is if I give them a task, they don't want to do it. They just want to, hey, how do I trade? Goddammit. Where do I go? No. You've got to understand how this market moves. You've got to understand how this market works. You got to outthink the box. You know, you have to. And I can teach people that. But they got to understand it's going to be a longevity. I can't teach you simple things like, you see this piercing candle. You should already know that part. Do you see this gap? You should already know that part. I shouldn't have to teach you how to find a damn gap. I shouldn't have to teach you how to find a piercing candle, a gap up. I shouldn't have to teach you any of that. I got to be able to teach you the things that you don't know. And anything I say, you see, the thing about people, you got to baby them. You got to hold their hand too much in trading. Their attention span is so short, it's ridiculous. That's one of the reasons why once I get to that really big next level of trading is that $1 million. And also I would really love to go and trade with some of the big boys on Wall Street, you know, or CME. You know, I traded trading competition, but that really don't separate the big from the bad from the worst, because some people get lucky, and a lot of those trading challenges I went into, all they did was just gamble. They, you know, I was looking at their strategy, you know, but it didn't bother me none, because all the people that was sponsored, all the people that were sponsored by the trading companies that was supposed to be in there, I beat every last one of them. So that didn't bother. So the rest of the people who won, I didn't care. But the people who were sponsored, that was recognized to win that trading challenges, I beat them. And that's all that mattered to me. And so I would really like to take my trading strategy to Wall Street, really would like to open my own financial firm. I really would like to go to the next level in that. The bad thing about everything I just said is I don't like being bothered. So that's kind of like a conflict of interest. I like doing what I'm doing now. My phone doesn't ring that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm glad. You know, before my phone used to ring off the hook. And I mean, you know, when I owned my own trucking business, you know, when I did Lincoln of Gold and things like that, my phone would constantly ring. And I hated that. Now, where I'm at now, I make my money 100% off the market. I have never made no money off anybody. Well, Peter Sinclair one time sent me $10. That's it. But I have never made no money off anybody except the market. I'm one of the very rare traders that actually do that. So that's kind of essence what's next for me in trading. And I hope I answered a lot of questions. I know some more people gonna probably ask questions in the comments below. And I guess I should have got more questions from everybody. But basically, that in essence, this is who Lincoln Mitchell is. All right.